Why I don't stack silver and gold? For prepping. I'm not a prepper stacker. And I'll tell you why. Let's get to the video.
Well, it's cup of coffee in the big time, yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time, because you'll never get closer than now.
Hey guys, Patriotic Stack here, back with another video on this Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. Silver's at 58 and change, and it's continuing to climb, which is good to see, but it's also kind of sad to see because, you know, us stackers, we still want to stack, right? And if silver gets to 100, I don't think any of us can afford that. But, I mean, it's good to see, but, would definitely like it to, you know, not go so quick. Looks like we're just going to skip through the 50s again. So, but at the end of the day, it's good to see, you know, but also, you know, we just got our first snowfall in southern New York. So I was outside all day plowing, playing with the kids. My kids were out there for hours playing in the snow. And it was great to see because, you know, there's a lot of kids today, they just sit inside, rot their brains with their iPads and the computer and all these games. And, you know, it brought me back to when I was a kid. Every time it snowed, you know, every time it was nice out, I was outside, and my kids are the same way, and it's just good to see. But, yeah, guys, I figured this would be a good time to do this video, and I know there's going to be a lot of people that disagree, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to, you know, hate on this video, and that's perfectly fine. This is just my opinion, you know, and if you disagree, please comment down below and let me know your thoughts and why you disagree. But anyways, let's get to it. So gold and silver, obviously all of us in this community believe in it 100%. And we all pretty much stack it for the same reasons. For financial security, for long-term wealth, for a hedge against inflation, for insurance, as a long-term savings, a long-term investment account, or even for prepping. Now me, I don't buy gold and silver for prepping. I don't stack it for prepping. I don't believe in gold and silver for prepping. And I know those are some harsh words for you prepper stackers out there, and there's nothing against it for you guys. I mean, as long as you're stacking gold and silver, you know, there's many a good reasons why you should stack it. But I don't stack it for prepping. And I know there's a lot of big channels that, you know, love it for prepping. They pretty much only stack for prepping, and, you know, there's a lot of big prepper stackers out there. But I'm going to tell you why I don't stack it for prepping. And, you know, we can go back to like times in history where, you know, there was after war-torn countries, you know, inflation where, you know, pretty much destroyed their dollar, or third world countries where they don't have money. What they have is pretty much their skills, you know, or, you know, food, water, you know, stuff that they can trade. And that's what I think that would happen if we were, you know, unlucky enough to go through an SHTF situation. People are not going to want silver or gold. Silver or gold's not going to keep you warm. It's not going to keep a roof over your head. It's not going to keep your bellies full. It's not going to do you much good, especially, you know, I hear a lot of people in the community like, oh, there's so many people, the 98% of the people, world's population, don't know about gold and silver, don't know what gold and silver bullion is. There's only a very small percentage of us that stack. And, you know, I guess that is true. So what makes you think that in an SHTF situation, people are going to know what this is? To them, it's just a regular coin. And then not only that, how are they going to test it to see if it's real? I mean, you know, people aren't going to want this. What they're going to want is trades, skills, food, water, medicine, tools, ammunition, alcohol. There's a lot of important things where people are going to need. And those things that I mentioned are the things that I stack. I stack for prepping. Those are the things that are in my prepper stack, right? Gold and silver is just a long-term savings for me, a long-term investment, a hedge against inflation, a place to store my cash into this, something that's going to, you know, appreciate, unlike, you know, our currency, which decreases each year. Now, not saying, there's not going to be situations where we're not going to use gold and silver in a situation like that. I think after many years, after the rebuild and kind of getting our ducks in order, yeah, we would probably use a currency like this. But at the same time, too, in that situation, until that rebuild happens, are you going to carry around loads of silver with you? I mean, most of the time, you're probably going to be, cars are probably not going to work, especially if there was like an EMP. Um, there's probably going to be a very bad shortage of gas. I mean, what are you going to lug this around with you? Like, it just doesn't make sense. What the main things that people are going to use are going to be skills. Like, for example, say, you're a framer and your family's at home and you're hungry and you have no food. But there's a farmer down the road that has plenty of food, but he needs a barn. His barn, was destroyed or something. So you can go to the farmer and say, hey, I need food for my family. And the farmer can say, hey, I need a barn built. Well, you're a framer. Build the barn, and the farmer will give you food. That's going to be the main source of currency. Skills, trading, what you know and what that person knows, or what you know and what he has. You know what I mean? That's what's going to be the main currency. And then obviously foods, water, tools, ammunition, alcohol, medicine, bandages. There's so much stuff that's going to be needed, and which people are going to want. They're not going to want this. And sorry to say it, that's just my opinion. That's what I see. That's what I see in other countries. I'm big into history. I like, looking up things and, third world countries and what they do and everything. And that's just how it is. I mean, no one really trades gold and silver in a situation like that. I mean, obviously, I believe in gold and silver 100%. I stack it for all the reasons I named. But I don't stack it for prepping. I don't think it's going to be used in that situation at all. Like I said, there might be some rare cases where it would be used. But no, man. I think, food, gasoline, tools, trades, skills, plenty other things. It's what's going to be needed in a situation like that. But yeah, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. And again, agree to disagree, we don't have to be we don't have to comment down anything rude. You just let me know, explain to me instead of getting all aggravated and commenting, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Just explain to me. Comment down below and explain to me why you disagree or why you do agree. But again, like I said, I love gold and silver. It's been the true currency for thousands of years in the world, and it will continue to be the true currency for more years in this world. But when it comes to prepping, I am not a stacker for prepping. I stack other things. So real quick, I also bought some more silver. Let's open it up and check it out. And believe it or not, I purchased this from Amex. Not just, their website, but I got it from their Amex eBay store. And I've noticed at the eBay store is where you get the deals. I bought this last week. I think I spent like $2 over, which wasn't terrible. And then like the next day, no, I think I purchased it Wednesday. And then Thursday is when the silver shot up. So if that wasn't perfect timing, but yeah, I spent $545.80. Right now, this exact bar on the Amex eBay store is going for about $700. No, not 700. 6 and change. But let's see what we got here, guys. Look at that beautiful 10-ounce Academy bar. Now, these are made by Scottsdale, one of my favorite mints. Anything that comes out of Scottsdale is awesome. But these are like the Scottsdale 10-ounce, the Scottsdale stackers, the Scottsdale stacker bars, which are, the most famous of all the Scottsdale bars, but instead it's Academy. But it's also made by Scottsdale. And they also stack, and you can see they have the same backing, which is so cool, too. They are serialized, so You can always track your bullion, which is good. The only difference with these, this must be the new Academy stackers, because the old Academy stackers had "In God We Trust." They got rid of that motto, which I don't know why they did that. That's too bad. But yeah, still a solid bar. Love Scottsdale. And these Academy bars are getting hard to find. I used to be able to buy them all the time, and now they're not as common. But all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I can understand, if it's controversial, but comment down below. You don't need to get all aggravated or anything. Just comment down below and let me know why you disagree, if you do disagree. But again, I believe in gold and silver. I love gold and silver. I trust it 100%. It's done good for me in the last 12 years, and I know it's going to do good for me and my family in years to come. And I'm going to continue to stack. I just don't stack silver and gold for prepping. I buy it for a long-term savings, a hedge against inflation, an insurance, a place to store my wealth, and a long-term investment. And yeah, silver and gold is not a traditional investment, but if you've been a stacker for the last few years, especially if you started, 4 or 5 years ago, and you were buying silver at $15 to $25 an ounce, and gold at $2,000 an ounce, now it's quite a good investment. Now, obviously, prices, everything costs more now. That's just how inflation works, but it works out. But all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and Patriotic Stacker is out. Peace.